Okay.
All right.
Paul, I've got it.
Okay. Good evening. Welcome. I see it's 7 o'clock. We'll go ahead and get started so we can get out a reasonable hour tonight. Tonight we're going to talk about Taskstream. You should all have your Taskstream account now. If you don't, Ms. Turbyfield, Wendy Turbyfield, is our Taskstream coordinator, and you would need to deal with her over your account. But everybody should have the email from Watermark set up of your account. We had a couple of people who didn't get an email, but that's because they had a previous account in Taskstream. And if you need to get your account reactivated again, Ms. Turbyfield is the person that says so, obviously, but you can't see her name until you actually log in. But I have gone in, I have set up your DRFs, I have put in the template for your portfolio, I have registered all of you in the MELS program, and I have put you in your section. I do all of that. Seeing how the MELS program is over half the School of Ed, it takes a big load off Wendy to do that. So if you can get into Taskstream, but you don't think you're in the right place, I will deal with that piece of it. Getting you in is her. She's the one that buys the accounts. I do everything after you're able to log in. If you have an issue, I deal with those things in order to take that off her plate. All right, so.
Dr. Lamb, before you, but tell them it came up Tuesday night. When they go into their Blackboard and they see their courses, that when they see their internship, they don't have to do anything at all with that. Just tell them that that's there. But would you just explain that to them, please?
That's what I've got pulled up right now.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
When you go to Blackboard, you're going to see 3 courses. You're going to see your 601 course. You're going to see a 697 course if you're a master's student. You're going to see a 698 course if you are a add-on licensure student. So you'll see one of those. That's the second one. And the third one, you'll see one that says clinical. I have put all of you in your clinical shell. Now, the 697 or 8 shell, you will never use that. That's just a placeholder shell. It's not built out. It just comes out a banner that it generates that. The shell that you will use has your clinical coach's name on it. It will say MELS Clinical Internship _, and it will have your coach's last name. That's what I have pulled up right now. And you'll notice it's built out. It has all the drop boxes that you're going to need to work with your coach. It also has intern shell directions. It has a short video on how to set up your competency folio that I'm going to show you in a few minutes. That's the only thing that requires any action on your part on what I'm going to cover tonight is you're physically going to have to go in and set up your own competency folio. I've already got the template built. It's going to be really easy. But because you build it, you are the owner, you can share it with prospective employers and others. And you can also, as I've told you previously, you can take along with your transcript, share it with the licensure folks in your own district and get your renewal credit for digital teaching and learning competencies. You can get that renewal credit from these classes and not have to do those hours separately. But the only way that I can do that is for you. I build a template, you simply set it up, and you are now the owner. Now, when you request comments, we can go in and help you with it. But the good thing is because you're the owner, you can share it with others when it's complete. And it's a really neat thing to have when it comes job interview time. So, but that's the only thing that's going to require effort on your part once you get into Taskstream at this point. And that video is right here. It's a short video, about 2.5 minutes. But all the things that you're going to need for your clinical are already built into your clinical shell. So again, when you go to My Gardner Web and it has your courses over here on the right on your dashboard, you can see my courses here. I've got millions of them. For spring 21, you will have a 601. And it'll be the O for the master's people. It'll be O1 through 2, 4, or 6 for the add-on licensure people. It'll have your instructor. You'll also have a 698 shell or a 697, but then you'll have one that says MEL Clinical Internship and your and your coach's name, that's the one you're going to use. And that's where all the goodies are. So please don't send us emails that say, I clicked on the intern shell and mine's got nothing in it. Well, that's true. Not the clinical intern with your name, but the 697 or 8 shell is empty, and it will stay empty. Again, it's only a placeholder shell. We don't use those. So make sure that if you don't have one with your coach's last name on it, you need to let your coach know that, and they will let me know that, or you can email me directly, and I'll make sure you're in there. But I have put all of you in your classes. You should be in your coach's shell. I have control of those. And the reason why we use the clinical shells rather than the banner shells is the banner shells go away and you lose your work.
Dr.
Because
Lamb, a
they're
lot of them
interns.
are saying they only have 2 things there, so not 3 things that they mentioned. So there may be some confusion. They said they're only seeing their course, either who they're with, and then one other thing in there.
But you should have one with your coach's name on it. And we can look and see. Just make sure you email either them or me, and I'll look and see that you're in there. But I went in and did that. That's another reason why we use these shells, is that we have control of them. They don't go away at the end of the semester. The way that the internship or consultancy shells work, or dissertation coaching shells, they're placeholder. And if you go put anything in them, they disappear at the end of the semester, never to be seen again. This way we have a record of your work. Clinical shells do not expire. You can access them. You'll be able to go back again next semester into a clinical shell. We keep all of your work. I also have control. I can move you around. It doesn't affect your enrollment. If we do anything in one of the banner shells that affects your enrollment and how much they charge you, we can do whatever I need to do in your clinical shell, and you won't get a bill from Gardner Webb for me having done that. So let us know if you don't have one that has your internship supervisor's your coach's last name on it.
If they've got the one with our name, if they don't see the other one, it doesn't matter, does it?
It doesn't exist. That's exactly right. It's only a placeholder.
So as long as you see our name, you're in your clinical coach beside when you're good to go. So don't worry about the other.
Don't worry about that. If you've got one with the name, then you're good. The other one, again, is just a placeholder. They put it in banner to hold the place until I can assign you to one. And then sometimes after I assign you to the real one, the old one will go away. It's just a placeholder, like a bookmark, until I can assign you to a real one. But we used to try to use those, but that work went away, and our accreditor does not allow that. We have to keep a record of your work the entire time that you're with us. And so we had to devise that, and so I built those shells, and then I have the ownership of them.
And the one with our name on it, you don't need to worry about that unless if you're in my class and I say you've got some issues or some problems, then we'll tell you to use that to submit work to Dr. Revis or vice versa.
Correct.
So don't worry about getting in there and spending a lot of unnecessary time that you don't have on things that you don't need to be dealing with right now.
We'll only send you to your clinical shell if we need to. Just like when you have me next semester, or those of you who do in 603, I'll never send you to that shell unless your work is not sufficient in your class shell. Remember, we do a coaching model. That doesn't mean that everybody gets the same. It means that we coach the ones that need the extra help. You can always request additional help, but there's no need to have to go to that shell unless we need to work with you on the side. And that's what that's for. But you can go there and find the video of what we're doing tonight, something like that. So remember, you've got your class shell and you've got a clinical shell.
And can I say one more thing, Dr. Lamb? If you're having a problem, I'm going to Zoom with you first. Then after the Zoom, if we need to go there, we're going to tell you to go there. We're probably going to handle it one-on-one at this point, and then we'll show you what to do if you need to go there. Okay, that's all.
Right. Good. All right, so tonight we're going to talk about Taskstream. Please remember, before I even open Taskstream up, we're going to talk about two different two different areas in Taskstream. One is the DRF portfolio, and everybody always asks me, what does DRF stand for? It stands for Direct Response Folio. That is where the 6 evidences that you're currently working on the APSEL right now, it's where the 6 of those, APSEL, APTEL, OMA, SKIP, CAP, and SIOP will go eventually when they're ready to be state graded. Please remember, in the DRF portfolio, we don't do any reviewing, we don't do any comments. It's only for work that has gone through that process in Blackboard, and then your coach or your instructor has told you, submit it for evaluation in Taskstream. And then the state grader puts the state rubric on it and grades it. Now, for those of you who are worried about, well, what if they don't like it? Well, it's not junior high. There's always, the world will go on if they don't like it. It'll be okay. They'll send it back for revision. Your coach and your instructor will get a message, and they'll tell you exactly what's got to be fixed. 99 times out of 100, the problem is you uploaded the wrong copy. You uploaded the one that only had 4 of the 5 tasks or something like that. Or you uploaded one that was still in editing and was in that edit mode and had edit comments on it. Let me share a secret. That makes your evaluators mad. Do not send them a copy that's still under editing. Do not send them one that's incomplete. It really makes them angry when they've read all the way through one. They get to the last task and it's not there. Because they're going to have to spend the same amount of time the next time you submit it and go through it and make sure that it's the right one. And so they don't like that. So please remember, we want to make sure we upload the correct copy when we go to the DRL portfolio, because it is for state evaluation. That's also where you'll do your self-assessment for dispositions and competency, and I'll talk about those in just a minute. So that's all over in the DRL portfolio. The competency folio, that's where you upload your artifacts. We will do comments on those with your coach. But that's at the end. When it's through, we'll move it over and get it evaluated as part of your DRL portfolio. But the reason, again, why we do it separately is, number one, our accreditors want it separate. Number two, we let you build it so that you will have control over it and you can share it as you see fit. So when you get ready to go to Taskstream, switch to Chrome. And when you go to taskstream.com, you'll get a sign in. Use your username and Taskstream login to sign in. I'm going to get pop-ups because I've had to turn off my pop-up blocker in order to grade in Taskstream. It's another reason why I use a different browser, so I won't get those when I'm working in Blackboard where I use Edge. That shouldn't happen to you. If it does, you'll need to turn off inside of Chrome. You can turn on your pop-up blocker. Obviously, Watermark is selling ad space, and you get a lot of pop-ups when you go to this site. But if you turn off, but for us, we have to suffer them, because if we turn off our pop-up blocker, we can't go in and grade your work, or we can't see your work. We have to be able to do that. So when you go in, you're going to only have the author view, and you're only going to have one DRF right here. I've got multiples, obviously, but yours is going to say, I thought I set myself up as the author on this one. I didn't, but that's no problem. Let's see. I'm going to go into, let's see, I'm going to do the master's one first. And it's going to look like this. So when you folks who are in the masters, it's going to say, welcome to the Mel Spring 2021 program. And you're going to have, over here on the left, you're going to have all the things that you're going to be expected to do to complete this DRF portfolio. Please remember, you're only going to get one. You're going to use it all 5 semesters that you're with us. You're going to use this same portfolio. You don't get a new one every semester. As you can see, it accommodates your work from 601, 2, 3, 4, and 5. You get one. And this is the one that you have been assigned. Now, You say, well, my screen doesn't look like that, Dale. Well, that's probably because you're not on the work page. There are 4 different tabs that we use: the work, comments, scores, results, and resources. These 4 tabs, we will mostly use work, comments, and scores, results. But for you to upload your work, you have to be on the work page. It's funny how that happens. If you were doing comments, you'd be on the comments page, but we do not do comments. We do not do comments in this one. Now, if you get work sent back, you'll get notification and you will go to your comments and or scores results page, and it will have those why your work got sent back for revision. That's the only time that you might go to that comments page. But once you submit work and you get notice that it's been evaluated, and you will get email notice when it gets evaluated, it comes to you automatically. That will happen within 24 to 48 hours of you submitting your work. You go to the scores results page, and it will have your score right here. Your score is on a 4.0 scale. You have to score a 3 in order to pass. If it's less than a 3, they'll send it back for revision the first time and give you a chance to get it up to a 3. Now, your instructors and your coaches are not going to let you put work in that they don't think is going to get a 3. Now, all work doesn't get 4s, but we don't put borderline work in. That's one of the things that we just don't do. If we know that it's going to be a close call on passing or not getting that 3, we won't let you put it in. We're going to make you work on that work, and that's when you're going to go to your coach's shell and work one-on-one with your coach until you can get it up to where we feel comfortable that when it gets graded, it's going to pull a 3 or better. We're not going to let you fail. Now, we know what the rubric is. We know what it takes to get to that score. We kind of do this for a living. So don't think, well, they just don't like me. I'm sure if I just go ahead and put it in and submit it, that the evaluators will love my work. You would be wrong. Our job is to get you to that level. We want you to all shoot for accomplished. Dr. Stedman has told you that before. We want you all to score a 4. But if we fall a little short at a 3.75 or a 3.5, then we're still good. But if we're only shooting for that 3 and we fall a little bit short, that second time around that you don't make it, we enjoyed having you, and we don't have any wonderful parting gifts for you. If you can't make the state grade as we go, then you can't stay in the program. For you to go to the next course, you have to pass the evidences in this course. Let me say that again. If you can't pass the work, you can't stay. And so that's just the way it goes. Now, we'll give you, they'll send it back one time for revision, and we'll work with you to get your work ready to get back in there and to pass. But if it doesn't, if you decide on your own just to launch into there and see what happens, you burned your first chance. And then the second chance, if you don't make it on the second time around after we've worked with you, then there's not a lot that we can do. We can't just say, well, we're going to pass you. He's a pretty good kid. We'll just pass. No, that's not the way it works. If you can't pass the work, remember, this portfolio is what satisfies the exam requirement for your licensure. You will not, those of you in North Carolina, whether you're in the add-on or the regular program, you do not have to sit for the ISLIC exam anymore. Let me say that again. People in North Carolina do not have to sit for the professional administrator's exam. The folks in South Carolina, you will have to sit for the Praxis 2, the 5412, 5412. It's not nearly as involved as the professional administrator's exam, and we've had every student we've had in South Carolina has passed it with flying colors. But so you don't have to, neither group has to sit for the old 8-hour professional administrator's exam like, Dr. Hamilton had to do. Now, I'm old enough that I had to sit for the NTE National Administrator's Exam, which was twice as long as that one. Dr. Stedman and I had to sit for that one. You took it like the SAT. It was a 2-day deal, 2 days all day. And then that became the ISLIC, which was 1 day all day, 8 hours, and cost $500. Even back when $500 was real money. That's gone. It has been replaced in North Carolina with this portfolio, and been replaced in South Carolina with this portfolio and the Praxis 5412, which is a relatively short and easy exam. It's just basically, can you write without using crayons and stay in the lines? It's not a real difficult test. It's certainly, I believe it lasts 90 minutes. It's certainly not an 8-hour comprehensive examination. But the key to that is you will learn that stuff in the MELS program. You'll have no problem passing the Praxis 5412. The trick is getting your portfolio done. That's the trick. As you can see, we're very specific in the directions that we give you. And we're very specific in that you follow the process, the template, as we go through. Now, we're going to do gradual release, as we've told you that before, or some people call it planned abandonment, whichever you prefer. We're going to pull back on the template as we go through the program, so that when you're in the app cell and the app tail, you get a pretty detailed template. When you come to me in the OMA, I'm just going to give you the directions with the task and prompts, and I won't even do that when you move to the skip. I'll just say make your own. And then when you get to the cap, you won't have one. Now, I will give you a guide how to put the last one together, because it's parts of the first 5 that you did. But we're going to pull back, and you're going to have to learn how to develop these templates yourself. But, you know, it's the same every time. There is a process. If you decide that you don't want to follow the task and the prompts and what we give you to do, understand that that's the rubric they're going to use to grade your work. And it's not going to go well at grading time. So back to the Taskstream screen here. So for you folks who are in the master's program, you have the app cell due this semester, your competency analysis. After you have completed the app cell, you will do your competency analysis, and you have your School of Ed dispositions that can be done at any time. Let me say that again. You can do them tonight if you want to. Your School of Ed dispositions can be done at any time. Competency analysis can only be done after you complete your app cell. And I will come back and your coaches will talk to you about that. Let me move this out of the way. So when you click on that, it'll say complete this form, and you go in and you rate yourself. And what you will do is what we like to see is from app cell task 5, you do your competency analysis in a written narrative in task 5 of the app cell. What we like for you to do is simply copy and paste those into this box and say, this is how I met that. You don't have to write anything new. This should take you no more than 10 minutes to do your competency analysis. And if you don't do it, we're not gonna pitch too big a fit. But if you just go in and mark met, because we've got a record of it right there in your app cell. But it is a nice touch for you to do a copy and paste into this box right here, and you meet those. Now you're only going to do 12, and so those 12 you're gonna click on met, and you're going to copy and paste. And then the other 9, you can click on met if you think you met them this semester, and you can click on not met if you think you didn't. But the 12 that you did for the app cell, the 12 competencies that you wrote the analysis of, communication, change management, the 12 that you did, the 8 that we outlined for you, and the 4 that you chose, we do want to see those in here, and you can kind of self-assess on the other 9 for you master's folks this semester. Now, for you add-on licensure folks, seeing how you're due, you folks, you owe us the app cell and the app tail. So you will not do competency analysis until you finish the app tail. And then you will have the app tail task 4 and the app cell task 5. You will have done all 21, and you can copy and paste them into your competency analysis when you go in. Let me move this out of the way and view, edit your responses. Now, for you folks, I have taken the boxes out where you don't have to copy them in. You just click because we have all of yours. Now, if you don't have boxes in yours, that means I've taken them out. If you do, it's nice to fill them in. It's not required. If I've taken the boxes out, don't worry that there's no box there for you to copy and paste. You just click on that because we know you did the whole 21 because you did AppSell and AppTel this semester. So again, you do your competency analysis. Once you have completed both the AppSell and the AppTel, you do your competency analysis and you just got to click met because you will have done them in a narrative form in task 4 of the AppTel and task 5 of the AppSell. You would have done those. And again, you can do your dispositions at any time. Now, as you can see, AppSell, AppTel, Competency Analysis, School of Ed Dispositions. For you folks who are masters, it's AppSell, Competency Analysis, School of Ed Dispositions. And then stop. There's nothing else in this shell that you need to do or be worried about or be involved in this semester. We have it by semester, we have it by class. Mel 601, here are the things you need to be involved in. Do not come down here and start in some of these other things that we have down here. Including, you say, but I'm doing an internship log this semester, Dale. What about that? This is not for that. Let me say this again. This is not for the internship log you're doing this semester. This is at the end of your program when you have all of your logs, you will come back here. It says Competency Folio. This is the final. When it's at the end of your program, when it's complete, you will upload it here. And then we will evaluate it here before it goes to the state grader. But you can see the rest of these things are due in later semesters. Do not be down here in some of these trying to send Competency Folio or internship logs or firing off dispositions from next semester. Don't do that. Focus on what's due this semester in this box. Now, just like every warning label that you see on something, you know, there's a great backstory where somebody did that thing. I'm not just saying this just to be a grumpy old man. I get way too many submissions and things from semesters in the future from folks that I have to go in and fix. It kind of hangs up the whole process. So please understand, you're only responsible for what's under Mel 601 this semester in your DRF portfolio. Do not go beyond that. Then I have to go in and take you out, fix it, and put you back in. Which I just described an hour's process, by the way. Don't do that to me. It makes me grumpy and mad. AppSell for everybody. AppTel for add-on licensure. Competency for everybody at the end of the semester when you have finished your evidences for the semester. And then School of Ed dispositions. That's it. Make sure you're on the work page. Once you've submitted something for evaluation, you get your AppSell ready. And you come, you click on AppSell, and you said, I'm ready to put it in there. You click on attachments, upload from my computer, add files, and it will search your file manager just like it's doing mine right now. I'll pull up an AppSell document.
And make sure it is the right document that you need to upload.
You can't say that enough times. You know, and again, use the terminology AppSell, AppTel, OMA, SkipCap, SOP, final evidence narrative. We know that will be we hold some truths to be self-evident there, Lincoln. If it's the final evidence narrative, that's the last one. That's the one we want. We don't want one that's task 1 or working doc. We want the one that says final evidence narrative. And when you put the final touches on it, that's what you need to name it. AppSell, AppTel, OMA, SkipCap, SOP, final evidence narrative. And you know that that's the right one. You'll use that terminology. But I don't like ones that say task 1 through 4, and then when we get it, it is just 1 through 4, except there's 5 tasks in the app cell. That's kind of a duh. But final evidence narrative means that all 5 of them are there. So we add the file, upload and close, and then save and return. And then, are you submit ready? Yeah, I am. And then it's this little thing, it says submit work. Boom, there it is. And then when it's graded, you'll get an email. You'll go over to scores results, and it will have your your action right here. It'll have your results. It'll say 4.0 or 3.75. If it doesn't, under comments, you'll get back, this was returned, and this is why it needs revision. It's been sent back to the author. So it's just that simple to upload, not hard to do, but you're not going to do that. And you're not going to upload a task and say, I'm going to see what they think about my first task. Please don't do that. The only thing your grader, your evaluator will read is your final evidence narrative, and they only want to read it one time. Again, we try to keep them happy. Just like the headings that you have in your paper. If it says you must have these things in your paper, you ought to have a heading that just like a neon sign said, here it is. Make it easy on your grading. Great. For those of you who are elementary people, I know you know what anticipatory set is. That's a big function in reading, teaching emerging readers. You know, we use pictures and we use rhyming words and those kinds of things in order to get kids to anticipate. Well, we use a template in Gardner Webb. We want our evaluators to anticipate great work, that it's going to follow the state grading rubric, that all the pieces are going to be there, that it's going to be done to a certain level in a certain way, that they anticipate that this is going to be great work. We don't want to have the reputation, about half of it has to be turned back. Either it's the wrong document or it should have been written in crayon in terms of the level that it is. We won't let you do that because we're conditioning the graders to expect great work and to see great work and get good scores. We don't want to be in a never-ending seventh ring of Dante's hell of sending work back and forth with our evaluator. That is not a good system. So this is your DRF portfolio. Again, it has a request comments button that I cannot remove, but we do not request comments ever in the DRF portfolio. If you request comments in the DRF portfolio, I shudder to think how mad I'm going to be. Do not request comments in your it is not, your evaluator will not give you feedback. They will not give you comments. There is nobody in here to give you comments. This is for people who are paid to grade your work on a state grading rubric. Period. That's what they do. They don't teach you, they don't coach you, they don't visit you. They are paid to grade, assess your work. Period. It's supposed to be, it's double blind, and it's supposed to be. You don't know them, they don't know you. They're not going to give you comments, tips, and suggestions for improvement, tell you how. That's not their job. Comments do not work with them. Do not use the request comments button, not in the DRF portfolio, where we only do upload work for evaluation. Again, only do the work that you have that's allotted for you to do this semester. These things down here at the end, we will do those in later semesters. All right, I'm going to pause and catch my breath. I've ranted enough about this. All right, moving on. When you log into Taskstream, and I'm going to log out, and always remember, even if you're only going to go to the restroom for 1 minute, every time you leave the Taskstream screen, log out. Even if you're just going from one place to the next, I'm just going to check my email right quick. Again, you know, it's like my position coach used to tell me in football, you can either listen or you can feel. It's up to you. If you let Taskstream time you out, you will have to wait a minimum of 6 hours to get back in. Let me say that again. If you let Taskstream time you out, you will have to wait a minimum of 6 hours to get back in. That's not Dale's rule. That's just the way it works. So every time you get up from the screen from using Taskstream, simply log out. It'll go back to this screen, and it's simple. You just click on the button to sign back in, and everything is good. It's not hard to do. Just got to remember that. You can't just leave it open like you do your email or some of the other things, or some social media platform. Every time you leave, come up here to the top right. You see this little circle up here with the dots in it. Click on it and log out every time you leave, and it will go to this this stage right here. It's still loaded. It's still there. And as soon as you come back, you simply click sign in and just keep right on going. Everything's cool. But if you get locked out, it's going to take a while to get you locked back in, get back in. And sometimes you have to call Miss Turbyfield or me, and we have to go in and reset your account. So don't get locked out. This is an IQ test. All right. So now, once you log into Taskstream, and you want to work on your competency folio of artifacts that your coach is going to work with you on, and have that folio, that slick folio that you can share with prospective employers, you're not going to go into your DRF portfolio. Let me say that again. I get these emails all the time. I went into my DRF portfolio and I clicked on competency folio and it wasn't there. No, you clicked on where you uploaded at the end to submit it for evaluation. The competency folio is not, let me repeat, is not inside of your DRF portfolio. It is under folios and web pages up at the top here. So as soon as you sign in, do not go into your DRF. Go to folios and web pages. And when you do, there's going to be your competency folio. Now, you say, well, I don't have one, Dale. It's not there. That's because you hadn't built yours yet. I'm getting ready to see how many I've built over the years. I'm getting ready right now to show you how to build yours. Again, the video on this is 2.5 minutes, and it's in your clinical shell. And we'll share the link again. They'll put it probably in their class shells after tonight. I'll share that little video with them, and they can put it in their class shells as well, or we'll do that to make sure you've got it. So when you click on folios and web pages, this is what the screen's going to look like. It's not going to have any, from here down, it's not going to have any of the old ones that I've built. It's just going to have this. All right, so everybody's with me so far, as Don Henley would say. All right. We're going to name this one Dale Spring 2021. And then we're going to create new. All right, this is the only part you can get wrong right here. This is high level stuff, so pay careful attention, like you're working with nitroglycerin. All right, you want a custom template designed by your learning community. And if you can make that choice, then it's going to give you a drop-down menu. And being the kind and wonderful person that I am, I've already made your template for you. And it's competencies for 21st century leaders. If you click on that one and continue, you've done all the hard work. Now you get to do the fun thing. So what do you want? What do you want yours to be? I'm in the mood for baseball tonight. I was reading about Dale Murphy of the Atlanta Braves a while ago. What a fine person he is. And so I think I'll do baseball. So my title goes here. I just click on that one. I want that template for my competency folio. I hit the apply button up here at the top. And over here on the side, I just hit the preview button. And it gives me a little preview of what Dale Spring 21 of what mine's going to look like on the inside. And let me move that out of the way. And so then I just close that, go back to folios and web pages, and it resets. And now you're going to have a now you're going to have a competency folio, and it's going to look like this. It will be sitting right there waiting on you. And when you click on it, it will open it up. And this is what it's going to look like inside. And so here are your competencies over here on the left, 21 of them. Communication down through visionary. And then it's going to have digital learning competencies, which you don't have to do anything with that. This is just so you'll know what the 18 of those are. They're embedded in these 21. I've written directions for you to make it easy. And then your internship log from this semester goes here, and you can get comments on it from your coach. Make sure that they see that you've got 80 appropriate hours. So this is your competency folio now. So under communication, you'll need to go in and look at what it tells you, the directions. You need to read the directions, and I've already preloaded all these for you. So this one says we need three artifacts. And it says 3 evidences here, but it's 3 artifacts. One from the app cell, one from the SOP, and one open-ended. One of these 3 must satisfy the following digital learning competency as well. That's why I said I've inverted those. So now, if we think about our digital learning competency communication, if you have a email permission, a picture, a screenshot of that email permission from your principal to form your PLC, that is a digital learning competency that fits this definition from the app cell. It's just that simple. Now, all you got to do is upload the screenshot, the PNG of that email correspondence with you and your principal, and you've knocked out the first of your three artifacts that you need for communication. Please remember, in your class shell and we have all the documents in there that tell you where you can find these artifacts. You can find, from the app cell, we have every one of those identified. From the SOP, that'll be, later on, and then open-ended is from your clinical experience, the 80 hours that you do. Now, you don't have to do 3 every semester. You do 3 over the course of the life of your program. So that by the end of your program, whether it's 5 semesters or 3, you'll have 63 artifacts in your folio, minimum. You have to have 3 for each one of these, not 3 this semester, but 3 for you add-on licensure people, that would be 1 every semester. You're with us 3 semesters, so we'd need 1 artifact for each of these each semester. For you 5 semester people, you do the first 2 semesters, you do 1 round. Second 2 semesters, you do your second round, then you get all 3 of your final artifacts in your last semester. As you know, your clinical is 1 hour, 1, 1, 1, and then it's 2 for the last. And so your competency folio tracks that same pattern. You do half the round first semester, the other half, you finish the first round after 2 semesters, you finish the second round after 4 semesters, and you finish that last round in your 5th semester. For you add-on licensure people, you do 1 round every semester because you're just with us for 3 semesters. And you do this. And again, there is nothing that you owe us in digital learning competencies. I simply left that in there so you'll know what they are, the 18 of those. This needs to be there in order for you to get your renewal credit. If you submit your folio along with your transcript to your district to get your certificate renewal credit for teaching and for digital competencies, this has to be left in there for them to see the competencies that you achieved. That's why I left it. There's nothing that goes here. Let me say that again for the 7th time. There's nothing you have to upload here. We just go communication through visionary, a minimum of 3 artifacts for each one of those over the life of your program. Now, you say, Dale, what if I want to put 4? I feel real frisky, or 5 or 6. We love that. That's great. This is going to be yours at the end. That's the beauty of this thing. Not only does it satisfy your licensure requirement, but also, see this little button up here to the far right? Because it's a web folio that you have control over. You hit that publish share button when this thing is done. You can create a printable PDF, but you can also email this web folio to somebody, or you can share a link. And you can do this, you can share this with a prospective employer. Is the best use of this is to share with with their prospective employer. They really like this. Now, they're not, I know that you're going to spend an inordinate amount of time on your 6 evidences, and we want you to. But I hate to hurt your feelings, but I'm going to go ahead and tell you now. Prospective employers don't want to read your evidences. They don't have time nor the interest. They love to see the pictures in your competency folio, though. They really do. You know, they really, you know, unlike the, you know, what's the old joke about some magazines? You know, I don't look at the pictures, I just read the articles. It's just the opposite on this. They don't want to read they want to see the pictures. And so when you go into a prospective employer, they won't want to read your evidences, but they will want to see your folio, especially if you've done it in a system where it's mostly just pictures or things that are quick and easy, like shows you up in front of a group, or you know, it's a screenshot, it's a picture, it's a quick video, it's just, you know, those kind. If it's a PNG, a JPEG, those kinds of things they like to see. They like to see you out in action, and they're interested in that. That you can, you know, that you're a person of the people, that you can get out and work with people. But they like seeing that. They like that kind of thing. So that's just one of the bonuses of this, by having you do it this way, rather than me creating it like the DRF, which can't be shared. Only I have access to it, and since that work is confidential, it can't be shared. This can be shared. And so again, you will do 1 round each semester for add-on licensure. You will do a half a round the first 4 semesters to complete 2 rounds as a master student. You'll do your 3rd round in your last semester. And it's simply click on the buttons, attach, and put things in, upload from your computer. Again, I'm getting ready to put one in right now. I'm going to add a file on a PD that I was doing today. I did a professional development for a school district today for all their APs. And so I had a PowerPoint. And it's just that simple. So I've uploaded it, and then I can add some text and image to it to say quickly. Move this out of the way. I'm having trouble seeing here. All right, so what I can do then, once I have uploaded this, let me go back to this. Okay, again. Okay, I've uploaded my actual artifact, which is that PowerPoint that I created. Save and return. And then I go to text and image. If I can get this to get out of the way. And I can come here and say this master. And it kind of tells what right here, what this is, what they're going to see right here. You can go back later on and remove this text to make it look a little bit cleaner. We can also do embedded media. There's a number of things that you can go out in and do it. You can do it as quick and dirty as I just did that one. You can do embedded media and go in and do it that way to make it look fancy. For those of you who are much better at this than I am, you can make these things really sing and look really professional and neat. You know, but that's up to you how you want to go about doing that. You can do it as easily as I just did that one, and then later go back and take, when you go back and take those, when you take those out, it looks a whole lot better. And then when you publish and share it, it's got a little explanation of where that came from. And now, again, we don't want you to write War and Peace here. We want to, if it takes you more than a couple of sentences to explain the artifact that you've just uploaded, that's too much. That would be too much. Let me get this out of the way. And so, you know, I have added the master scheduling one here. This is the PowerPoint presentation that I shared. It's a digital competency. I put that in, and there it is. It's pretty simple stuff. This is not hard. And so I want you to understand this is yours. You make it as neat and as custom as you can make it. The better you can make it, the more professional it looks, the better we all are. The more people like it at the end. You know, that's what we're looking for. And see, we can do, you know, we can go in and edit this if we want to. I mean, you can't get this wrong. As long as you just understand this is for artifacts, you can go in and learn and do and create. And if you're a good graphic designer and artist, you can make this thing really sing. Remember that the whole notion here is we want the best artifacts, but we want things that are easily self-explanatory. We want, you know, this is the PowerPoint I use for this PD today. It's just that simple. I don't have to go into anything other than that. And people can go in and look at that and say, wow, that's a pretty good PowerPoint he did for that. You know, that's, you know, they may or may not be impressed that you led that PD and they see the work that you did. And, you know, that's what they want to see. They want to see evidence that you do stuff, that you know how to do things, that you can, that you were actually a real intern, that you were doing things, you were leading, you were out front, you weren't with the shovel at the behind the circus, that you were out front, you were the show. That's what people are. This is what this folio is, your chance to shine and show your leadership. This is what it's all about.
Would you address this, please? Can one evidence meet more than one competency, or do we need different evidences for each of the 21 competencies?
One artifact can only be used twice total. We'll let you use one 2 times, but that's it. Do not go in and put one artifact in for a whole competency and then try to claim that one satisfies all 3, or what I see more is we'll put it in under communication, and then we'll put it in under change management. We'll put it in, no, 2 times. Don't wear it out. We'll let you use one artifact 2 times total. And that's one of the things that your coaches are going to look for when you request comments. So now when you go in and upload something, just like I just did on communication, I come over here and request comments. Now, again, one of the nice things that you should do, I just put 1 in. Now, if I put 2 or 3 in, I should put them in and then come in and just request comments 1 time for those 4 things that I put in and hit continue. Do not use this button that says request comments in all areas. Don't make me hunt them. You'll make me madder than a hornet if you make me hunt. You put 1 in, but I got to go to every one of those 21 areas and look for that 1. Do not use this button. Unless you put one under all 21, you better not use that button. You tell us exactly where we will find that artifact you just uploaded. And if you're going to put 5 in, don't request comments at the end of the first one. Wait till you put the 5th one in, click on the comments button, and simply check the boxes of the 5 that you uploaded, so that we get 1 email in our box and not 5. But if you check request comments in all areas and you didn't put but 1 in, that will not go well for you. Again, don't overwork the people. Don't, show some professionalism, how efficient you are. Don't make me guess which of the 23 you put that 1 under. I don't want to have to go. It's not an Easter egg hunt. I'm not amused. If you put 1 in under communication, check communication. If you put 1 under these 5, send me 1 email. Now, when you click on that, you should have your coach and your instructor there. Always pick your coach. So you should have, so if you're in Dr. Stedman, you should have him and Dr. Revis. You will choose Dr. Revis if you're in his class because she's your coach. So you choose her. Continue. And it's going to send her an email. I'm going to do this again. Communication. Request comments. And I want you to listen. Continue. I'm going to select myself. Four, 3, 2, 1. Come on. It's a little slow tonight, but it's going to ding here in a second, and I'm going to get an email notification that comments were requested. That's what's going to happen. Look at that. It's running a little bit late tonight, but there it is. And this is what your coach is going to get. I've set this up so that they get emails notified automatically. Now, here's the problem. If you go in and send them 1 at a time, it's going to be ding, 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 ding. And you're going to blow up their email. Don't do that. If you got 5, tell us which 5 it is, send us 1 email. Remember, when you hit that submit button for request comments, that's sending an email. Every time you hit it, we get an email. 1 time. Every time you go in, you upload 5 artifacts, you click 5 of those under which ones, send 1 email. Do not use the select all areas, because it's going to blow up our email, and we're going to have to hunt that 1. Again, get in the habit of being a professional, and the people that you're working with, that you're trying to make sure that you don't put them to extra work just for your convenience. That's part of the professional, the social contract of professionals is we don't overwork people just because we can. All right, so therein, I go back. So therein is how you use your competency folio, your DLRF portfolio. The only thing you do is, you can do your SOV dispositions anytime. You won't do your competency analysis until after the last evidence that you have due this semester. Whether it's the AppSell for you at Masters or the AppSell and AppTel, you'll do that. If I didn't put a box in there for you to copy and paste anything and you just got to click on Met, you got away with one. Good for you. Move on. So this is Taskstream. The only thing to remember is every time, again, I'm going to do it again. Let me move this out of the way. Every time that you come out, even for just a minute, upper right, log out, and it's going to stay right here for you. It basically goes into a hibernation mode, and as soon as you click the sign in, it's going to jump right back. But if you let it time you out, and then you send me an email, I can't get back my Taskstream account. I really wanted to work on my competency folio tonight or this weekend. Well, it's going to be a minimum of 6 hours before you get in, and if it's over the weekend, Taskstream might not let you back in till Monday. That's the problem working with third-party vendors. I'll just tell you up front. You know, after they don't, there is no after hours for them. At 5 o'clock East Coast time, they go home, and they show back up at 9 o'clock the next morning. And so if you get locked out, calling me is not going to help you. Taskstream is going to have to clear your account and get you back in. So, and they don't work past 5 or before 9 in the morning. I'll just tell you that right now. Well, I've told you all I know, and probably a little more that I didn't know, but I told you anyway. So that's Taskstream. It's fairly easy to use. Set up your competency folio, make it your own, make it look neat, make it look nice. I'll share the screen. You've seen this before. We've given you an example. This is a very, very, very simple one. And, you know, Anara sent me a link to her competency folio, and this is a very, very, very simple one. But, you know, you can start here. We won't see all of them at least look this good. Again, there's the outside. It means pretty simple. Mary Henderson Competency Folio. We click on communication. Now, she wrote a little extra narrative that you don't have to write. She's a little extra. But again, she was getting her renewal credits for hers. And so she told us what each one of those was. She highlighted which one were digital. She told us where it came from. Again, SIOP, app sale, open-ended. There's open-ended SIOP and app sale right there. And then there are the actual artifacts, and that's it. And then we've got some that have a dozen there. And we have some that use some graphics and make them even, you know, a lot more, you know, a lot more aesthetic. You know, that's the thing about it is she's got 3 there. She's got 3 there. I know there's a couple she did 4 on.
Dr. Lamb, I will tell you that in the past that have followed her example and modeled after it, we've not had any problems with their work to send back. It's an excellent model to go by.
Yeah, it's a very basic model, and I'm not saying that in a derogatory sense. She didn't do any bells and whistles. She wrote a neat little narrative for each one of them. She identified where they came from and if they were digital. She uploaded them. I mean, you know, there's a PNG. That's a screenshot. I mean, I don't want to open that up for privacy issues, but I mean, you know, she didn't. She got a couple screenshots, couple documents there. You know, so, you know, but if you go in and play and you can't get it wrong, you play around with it a little bit. And here's the beauty of it is, if you just mess it up so bad, you say, I'd be ashamed for it. You just make you another one. You can make as many of these as you want to, but now here's the trick. You don't make one for every semester. We want one from your entire program. All 63 of your required artifacts have to be in one. But if you go in and you make you one, like a test one to play in, that's fine. But don't make one and put some of it in and then put some in another one or think, oh, I'll build one for each. No, we want one at the end of your program that has all 63 artifacts in it, because we have to submit it to the state as well. And that one has to have 63. They don't want to look at one, you know, 7 different competency folios to find your 63 artifacts. They're only going to look at one. So if you put in 2 and one's got half, you only get half credit. They're only going to grade 1. One. But that doesn't mean you can't have more than one and you can't learn, you know, you can't use one as a sandbox to learn in and see what you like or don't like. I'd spend some time doing that before I actually started putting my artifacts in. If I had a Saturday afternoon and had an hour or 2, I'd open me up, make me one just as one, I'd put test on it. And I would sit and play and figure out what I could do with it to make it, you know, to fit my personal style. And then I'd make my real one to put my artifacts in. That's up to you. If you don't want to do that, that's fine. You see, I do sandboxes all the time. I've got them look all different ways. But this, personalize it. But again, Anera's is the example that we use because it's just so simple and it's worked so well. And then we have some that are much got a lot more and much more highly developed in terms of the graphic piece of it. And looks like designers or a graphic artist did them. That's great. Especially if you're in the arts or the fine arts world and that's the kind of job, and you're looking for maybe like, Eric Figueres, who's now director of the arts programs down in Florence. If you're looking for that kind of job, this could be a good way to show that your artistic side. Those are some of the things that you can do. But again, you can go into Taskstream as much as you want to. It's your account. Just don't let it hang you up is the only thing I ask. Sign out when you come out, but you can go in to your competency folio and make it, and you can't change the rubric once you pick that template that I have created for you that has the correct competencies and all of the directions. I've already done that for you. As long as you pick that one to use, competencies for 21st century administrators, you can make as many as you want and play with them. But again, we're only going to accept one at the end of your program, and we can't migrate them. And I've gotten calls and emails before is I've got 2 competency folios. Can you migrate one into the other? And that would be no. One. They don't migrate. I have them set up that way. All right. Questions you have for me? I didn't go but 5 minutes over. That's not bad. All right.
I think everything else has been cleared up by instructors along the way.
Good. And your coach can help you with these, and we'll be glad to. We'll be glad to answer questions. Just don't do things like request comments in your DRF. I'm not sure about, they told me to upload this for evaluation. I'm not sure. I'm going to put it in there and request comments. We'll pull every one of your nose hairs out if you do that, because those evaluators will be mad as fire at us for you doing that.
And when we come back after we complete the APSL, and because this is our last meeting like this until after we have our town hall for the APTEL, and we'll announce that later on. We don't come back on Thursday nights for a while. When we come back, I'll ask Dr. Lamb to just briefly review this and to revisit this, but you will have had time to have played with it and begun working on it yourself, between now and then.
That is correct. You won't need it before then. That's why I said I'm introducing it tonight. I'm going to give you a sandbox period, but you can go in and play. You can see your DRF. Yep, I'm in there. I've got it. I see where I upload my stuff. I don't need my DRF right now. I'm not going to need my DRF portfolio until I finish my APSL. First time you're going to need that one. Now, you're not going to need your competency folio to the same time. Once you complete your APSL, you can start gathering some of those artifacts together that you would have done from it. But by that time, I will be back online with you. You have a sandbox period of 2 or 3 weeks here that you can go in and create you one and look at it, see how to set it up, see what you want to do with it, see how uploading works, how the text, the graphics, all of that. So when we meet back again, I will work with you again and answer any questions that you have. So, but again, this is your test period, your sandbox period. Look at your competency folio and see how you want to make it. This is that time, because this is going to represent you more than anything else you do in the actual evidence artifact realm. This is going to represent you at that most important time when you go interview for jobs. And you want it to be a true representation of the work that you can do.
Something else too, when you look under each week by week, if you're looking at there, sometimes you'll see something that was done last year and it may have archived I may have the word archive behind it. That simply means that it was a similar message that Dr. Lamb would have given last year. So there's other information in there. If you feel like you need to look at it again, or there's some step-by-steps along the way that we've archived. This will be submitted into your Blackboard shell before the night's over with. I'll upload it, send it to your instructors, and then they'll put it in there under week 4 for future reference.
And
Dr. Lamb, a few people are saying when they go in there, I guess they're trying to create their competency folio, and they're saying that they can't seem to find the custom template. So what they say, they are in competency folio, not DRF. What could they be doing wrong?
okay, let me walk back through that again.
So there's only 2 options. It says dispositions and competencies, I think. Those are the only 2 options.
Okay. All right. So when you go in, when you walk in, watch me walk in here. When you walk in, folios and web pages, create, it won't let you create new until you put a name in. Create new, and then custom templates designed by your learning community. And when it does it give you this drop down?
Okay, whoever is there and you don't see it, just unmute yourself and answer Dr. Lamb.
I have the drop down menu, but I can't click on anything. It's the 3 bold sections, but nothing clickable under any of them.
Same issue.
Okay. It says competency. So when you, again, let me cancel and go back. All right. So when you put your name in, and you click on create new, when you click on custom templates, do you get this drop down menu?
Yes.
And when you click on this arrow at the end, do you get these choices?
No.
What do you get?
I get,
Presentation folio templates, web page templates, and resource folio templates.
yes.
You don't get any of these in between?
I don't have any of those.
Okay. All right. So is this a master's program or add-on program problem?
I'm in the add-on.
I'm add-on too.
Okay, so it's add-on. So what I'm going to need to do is go back and check the setup for those. It may be that I left the button unclicked when we set these up, but again, when you click on that custom templates, you should see competencies for 21st century leaders. And then once you do that, it's pretty self-explanatory. After that, you pick whatever you want, apply, look at your preview, and then simply click on this and it'll be there. I'll go back and check that. I'm not sure why that's not showing up, but I can fix that.
And Dr. Lamb, will you let us know, and we can just send them a message when it's cleared and they can go in there and.
Yep, I'm going to go in right now. I have to do a secret maneuver to get in. I have to sign out and sign in as somebody else.
We'll wait to hear from Dr. Lamb, and that message may be with the submission of this video tonight.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Let me run and see if I can get this problem fixed. I'll talk to y'all later. Thank you.
Dr. Lamb,
Yes.
I'm in the master's program and I don't have any of those options in between either.
Right. That tells me that something's wrong in Taskstream. I'm going to have to go in as the Taskstream supervisor. This is not a Mel's problem or a Dale problem. Something's wrong in the Taskstream setup. I'm going to have to go in as the Taskstream coordinator and fix that.
Okay.
And that's what that tells me. But that's what I said. I'll have to go in. I'll have to sneak in the back door here and fix that. But I'll take care of that.
It'll be fixed, though. Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about that. I'll get it fixed and y'all can go in and do that. I'll go in right now. As soon as I get off of this call, I'll do that. All right. Thank you.
Thank you all. Good
Thank you,
night.
everybody. Good
Bye.
night.
Night.